Hey, what's up? Shane and Matt with the Lighting Trade School. Cap, how you doing, man? I feel like I just saw you a couple days ago.
You did, man. It's been great. A couple days in the desert, riding with some fellow lighting assassins, and we did see each other a few days ago. I'm still tired though. My plane got all fucked up. I had to stay 2 hours in a hotel in Chicago, and then I had to take three different planes to get back to Albany. It was a mess, but I'm back.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah,
Is that just like winter flying to Albany, just stuff gets messed up?
this is the first time it's ever happened to me. But they did give me a $12 voucher for food. So I bought a water and a granola bar. Cost $13.50. So
Well, for the audience, one thing that we do once a year is Nate invites us out to his compound. It's an event that he puts on. He kind of likes to invite his top lighting assassins. There's no real qualification or anything, just kind of the people he likes the most and are installing a lot of lights. So we go to the desert. He's got this compound kind of set up, big screen TVs. We watch the Super Bowl there. It's all outside. We cook, we have drinks, cocktails, play poker. But for 3 days, we go riding. What would you say, like 10 hours a day just in the desert?
yeah, 8 to 10 for sure.
Yeah. So we literally rent UTVs, and right there on the compound, we just pull out. There's a giant park with all sorts of trails and stuff. Well, we don't even go in that. Nate's kind of got like this unwritten rule, this unspoken permission that we go wherever the heck we want. He even has badges. We all get badges. It says we go where the fuck we want. So it's kind of cool because we go 150-mile round trips some days, maybe like 120-mile round trips, but we'll go all the way to the border wall, bordering Mexico, go to the Salton Sea. I mean, we are lost in the desert. Well, I would be lost. Nate's got navigation stuff, kind of knows the desert. I mean, we are literally in the middle of nowhere, just going 50 to 70 miles an hour, just over bumps, rocks, awesome turns, fishtailing, doing kind of death-defying stuff, going on ridges where if you went 2, 3 feet to the right or the left, you'd be rolling for hundreds of feet, imminent death. Luckily, no one's ever died, but every trip, someone rolls or wrecks their UTV. Never really seen anyone get massively hurt. Other
We
than
had the
that,
one guy break 3 ribs.
had a guy break 3 ribs. But it's dangerous, which kind of just adds an element of fun. So much fun. Probably the funnest thing I do every year.
Awesome. Yeah. And Ramon tagged us in an amazing video. I was watching. I'm like, damn, I can't believe I actually do that. I'm an idiot. One wrong move and I'm just goodbye.
When you're in line and you see everyone else doing it, it kind of takes takes the edge off. I think if I was out there doing it myself, right, that would be a little more scary.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All
What are we
right.
talking about, man?
So, we kind of talked, the subject and on our Illuminati Lounge call that we just had, just messy minds. Just sometimes it's real easy to lose focus, or you see this person over here doing this thing and you're like, okay, I got to do that. But you only have the highlights of that particular guy's business. You don't have the whole story on where he's at in business or why he's doing that. And it can get in our head. Sometimes customers or employees or family or life get in our head and just kind of distract us. So I want to kind of talk about just pushing some of that stuff to the side, having a plan and following the plan, and not just kind of that, shiny object syndrome that we all get as entrepreneurs.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can also relate to like what they call Facebook fake book, right? And that's like a real problem. There's been like huge studies about how bad it is for the mind when you open up Facebook and everyone's posting vacation photos, new car photos. It looks like everyone around you is just having the best life ever. They take all the vacations they want. They have everything they've ever wanted. And you're like, I'm sitting here struggling. Well, it's no different. Like same thing where, I get distracted like, oh man, Shane's doing so much better than me here. And then I'm like, I just suck, or whoever it might be, right? It can get very easy to get into in fact, it happens to me often, right? That I suck. That's why I stack and kind of write myself out of it. But That's all comparison. We compare ourselves. We don't know the whole story. No different than when, my proposals are badass and be like, Jesus Christ. But you don't know the rest of my systems, right? So comparison does not ever move you forward. You can use it for motivation. Well, if that dipshit can do it, so can I. But man, once you get in that comparison game, oof, you do not move forward. You get stuck in a fucking pit.
Yeah, you don't know. Even just recently, right? Talking to some folks just on a more intimate level, not knowing like, well, they can have, a multi-million-dollar business, but at home, like they're going through a divorce battle, or they're having some major complications with their kids. Well, that's just you only see the surface level, not everything else. You and I were talking to a guy that's got a seven-figure business is doing, by most minds, like you would think, like, man, that guy's made it. He's doing really, really good. But he didn't, and he was telling us all of his struggles. You don't really see when unless you can really peel back the curtain and look behind the fake book,
Yeah,
persona.
for sure. Or even it can be tough when you see other guys doing better than you, and whether you started similar times or why does he have more? Well, it's not doesn't necessarily that doesn't mean that that person's better. You have no idea their network, what they had, the resources they had available, the manpower they had available. So when you can compare, I did 100,000, he did 500,000, he's better. It's very easy to get in that mind, right? The guy with the most revenue is better. When you and I both know, and probably everyone knows logically, that's not the case, because a guy doing less revenue can actually make more money, which is mind blowing when you truly accept that.
Yeah. So yeah, it reminds me of yeah, I'll say his name because no one really knows this listening. But Mike, this guy does 700 grand or so a year in lighting. Most would think, yeah, okay, that's pretty good medium sized business, maybe upper medium. I'm not sure how most listeners would kind of categorize that. But someone who's doing a million or two, right, or three might be like, oh man, like I'm doing way more than that guy. But you know what? Like he doesn't have a website, he doesn't have business cards, he doesn't have flyers. He's got one storage unit. He doesn't have wrapped trucks. Really, really minimalist, and just has one helper. I think really for the most part. So what I'm trying to get to is that guy. Well, yeah, he thinks he's making 50% net profit because he keeps all of it and didn't spend any of it in marketing or building, and he is 100% happy where he's at and is just crushing it. Well, you might not know that, right? And it could be the opposite. You could come across someone that's $2 million and is literally losing money every month because their overhead's so high. But you just see all of their fancy wrapped fleet, and how happy all of the employees are, but you don't see just the grind below where they're just about to lose it all.
Yeah. Well, they're struggling to make payroll, but they're making $2 million top line.
Yeah, super common.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't I guess at the bottom, I just wanted to bring that up. I know, everyone knows this, right? Everyone's heard this. You've heard people say it before. I mean, it really is true, and it's so easy to get into that loop of comparison's sake.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
it never ends, right? Once you get to a million, you're comparing yourself to the guy that does 2 million. Once you get to 2 million, you're comparing yourself to the guy that does 5 million. It never stops.
Yeah. And it's not good for you. You get stuck in that and you don't move forward and you end up just getting almost depressed. It's just a vicious karmic loop of, I'm not good enough. I'm not as good as him. I'm not, and then you just kind of reinforce it. You're constantly reinforcing this idea that you're not as good so that you truly live the way, and you're just self prophesying.
Yeah. We were playing poker with a guy that's worth 50 million. At least I
Yeah.
assume he's probably worth 50 plus million or something, incredibly wealthy.
Yeah.
He's 40 years older than us, but still 30.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I just, do you take that time to soak in, not compare, but what did he, what is he doing? There's things that he has learned along the way, and that the mindsets that he has now are different than ours. Like, I don't care if he's older or younger. When you have that much wealth, your mindset is different than mine. Your mindset is different than Shane's. Like the more wealthy you are, it's typically from all the wealthy people I talk to, it's usually like a mindset shift. Right? And making a million, you can't make 50 million. It takes a different man, a different woman, right? Like you have to become something different because what you're doing now makes you the $1 million man. You want to be the $50 million man. It's different than the $1 million man. Different actions, different thoughts, different, follow ups.
So I would say if we're going on the subject of messy minds, right? I would say that's one way that you can kind of let people get in your head or get in your own head. I'd say the other way, could be just outside circumstances getting in your head. I think I just lost Cat. So I'll continue talking with that. So sometimes, and I'll say this just recently happened to me, you can just let a customer get in your head. You can let a couple $100 problem just stew in your head. Me with a special needs kid, right? I have a 9-year-old autistic kid. He can't speak. There are so many things that just like ruin my day sometimes because we just have to deal with a special needs kid. It's really, really hard. So you can let these things kind of ruin your day. A mentor once told me, and I use this analogy often, and I'm going to get into a story, but he said, bad thoughts are like a bird running across your mind. Like a bird can fly over your head and you have zero control over that. Zero control. That's just like a bad thought. A bad thought can cross your mind. You have zero control over that. But what you can control is if that bird came and sat on your head and stayed there. You can control that. Same with that thought, right? Like if it's saying in your head, it's affecting your attitude, it's affecting your day. You have control over that. You have control whether or not you choose to be happy in that moment or sad. My team asks me all the time, like there's this, shit show going on, just fires popping up, everything's bad. And I'm super happy and just optimistic. And they ask me like, how can you even do that? Like, well, I have a choice, right? I can let that particular situation piss me off, or I can just kind of laugh at it and just go along. Hey, that's life. Crap happens, and move on. And I'm really, really good at that. Whereas a lot of folks, right, kind of struggle with that. So this story, I have a customer, and I was just sharing this with Matt, and he gave me really good advice. I have this customer. We did this service for him. It was a $200 service, and it was such a minor service, right? It's just so minor, and the guys just left some like debris and kind of crud like on his patio and around. Like they could have done a better job of blowing everything off. So he calls, right? He's a little upset. Customer service is like our number one thing, right? Like we're a customer service company that happens to do lighting. Like I say that, I mean it. I love our customers. We've got tons of 5-star reviews. Like that is important to us. So we immediately go back the next day and we tell the customer, hey, we're going to be there in 15 minutes. We're at the guard gate. Like he knows we got in. Well, they just went to like start cleaning up this mess. Some of those only going to take 10 minutes. They did not ring the doorbell. They didn't ring the doorbell because the day prior when we went over there, well, like he took forever to answer the door. He took 15 minutes, and they thought in their mind, hey, I'm not going to bother this guy anymore. We saw the pictures that he sent. We're just going to clean it up and be out of there. So then the guy comes out, and he's so livid that they didn't knock the door, and they just started going around the property, like cleaning up, like blowing out the dust and debris or whatever. And he was so aggressive that like they were just thrown off. They're like, wow, this is weird. And they were kind of standoffish. They didn't know what to do. They tried calling the office. I wasn't available. Neither was the office manager. She was on the other line. Our general manager was like doing a quote at that moment. And they were just like, what do we do? They couldn't get on the phone. So the customer couldn't talk to anyone in that very like quick 30-second period. So they did a walk around with a person that was more timid, just kind of stood off. Anyways, he was just still so angry. He's like, your team was incredibly rude, and it was outrageous what he was talking about. Like, I know my team wasn't that way. So I'm sharing this with Cap, and we're talking about for 15 minutes, and Cap's like, dude, why are you even talking about this? He's like, this is a $200 problem. I was like, I know. Like, it should have never even gotten to Shane, but like the owner wanted to talk to Shane, and he's texting Shane. I'm like, man, I've got an office manager for this. Like, there's an operations guy for this. There's a general manager for this. Like, this is not something I should be wasting my time with. But the guy's in my head. Cap's like, dude, just refund him the $200 he's asking for and just be done with it. I'm like, but I don't want to do that. Like, it's a pride thing. Like, he just doesn't deserve it. We didn't give him bad service. Like, he just came off aggressive and just thinks we were rude. He thinks we ruined his doormat because some dust got on it. Like, that's absurd that he wants his money back. But you know what? It is only $200, and he's like living rent free in my mind right now. All because like this customer is just a super aggressive guy. I think he truly is the type of guy that goes to a restaurant, eats all the food, and then complains about the service and tries to get free food. He's a wealthy guy. I don't understand why he's even taken so much time to send me crazy long text messages over $200. It's absurd. So I think I'll follow Cap's advice. Just, you know what? You need the money more than I do. I won't tell him that. Because then I'm just
Yeah.
an argument. But just refund him and be done and just get him out of my head. So this is a very common thing as well, right? It just happened to me. And here I am talking about it with you guys, still living in my head.
Yeah, and it's more, my computer died again, so I'm on my phone, but it's not just living in there, right? What else are you not doing now because of this? And it's like, holy shit, now it's more than 200. Now it's been an hour of Shane's time. Now,
Yeah, and if I value my time at a couple $100 an hour or whatever that number might be, but then yeah, I've already spent way more money on this thing than the $200 he's asking to be refunded, full refund.
yeah. Yeah, you and I were talking to it. When I used to hear about people settling out of court, it was like, yeah, they're guilty. Like, yeah, they settled, they're guilty. Well, the I have learned that that's not the case. They're just buying back their mind and their time. I know during one of the lawsuits where I was in, it was like, we were so deep into it. There was no doubt that I was in the right, and it was like, holy fuck, this is taking all of my time, my staff's time, all my fucking money. I'd spent like $25,000 on lawyers at this point, and I would finally said to them, like, what's it going to take to end this? $2,000. You know what? My pride. I had to swallow my pride and just pay that out. And guess what? I probably saved myself six figures, not just in cost, but in time spent. So, it's not just comparisons. It's not just clients in your mind. It's sometimes you have to swallow pride because you're literally allowing someone else to prevent you from doing, what you're born to do, what you need to do. And then it's like, well, shit, there's another karmic loop. My God, I can't do this. My God, everyone's out for me. My God, I can't win. Instead of being like, yep, I know I'm right. Here's your $200, dude. Here's your $2,000, dude. I'm moving on with my life and making more money because this is crazy. It's super easy to get stuck in a messy mind. And we don't make the same decisions. If I asked you to make a decision right now, Shane, it wouldn't be the same decision as it would be when you let this guy out of your mind. It just wouldn't. Right? Even subconsciously, we get a little timid now. Like, shit, is this client going to be another one of those clients? Is this decision going to be the same end of that one? So get that shit out of your mind.
Make a decision, move on, don't look back. Next.
Yep. Just like sales, some will, some won't. So what? Move on. And it's easier said than done because I'm not the guy going through it, and I'd be just like Shane is right now. I don't want to give him this fucking $200 back. I'm gonna call him up and ask him if he eats pizza and tries to get his money back after. Right? Like, it's hard to just be like, okay, I'm done with it. $200 to be done with this? Whew, that's a steal.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had this situation really even happen. Like, certainly there's been upset clients that we make things right, but for someone to like ask for a refund over a service that was performed flawlessly, well, we went back and made sure it was performed flawlessly. He's just mad because he just has this perception that he was treated bad. to get his money back. Oh, and his doormat has dust on it, so he needs a new one. Like, sounds outrageous. I don't know. But
It
I
is
am going to
outrageous.
stop talking about it on this podcast. I'm making the decision. You know what? I'm just going to refund him. I'll tell my office manager too, and I will block his number and just kind of be done with it. Move on. Got too many other things to do.
Too many other things to do. Yes, messy minds keep you backed up, and there's so many different ways that that can happen. Even I'll throw this in there too, right? Like when we talk about, I ask you what you're doing, and especially in the desert, right? We got to spend time with other lighting guys doing big things, and we all ask, "What are you doing that's working? What are you doing that's working?" There's so many amazing ideas. There's so many amazing things that work. I know for me, I can end up spreading myself so thin, right? Instead of really, you know what? Like all of these avenues work. But when you try to do them all at the same time and you don't focus on one, then what happens is even though all of them can work, none of them do work. So it's not that you have to be, you can never do more than one thing at a time. I'm not saying that, but you need a focus so you can drive towards that one thing and allow that to live and breathe and work. And then, okay, I got this one working. Now let me shift my focus over here. Not that you're not doing things, but it's about a focus. Would you agree with that kind of a concept of do multiple things, but you have to focus on one?
It's hard. There's seasons, right? I think in life and business, and there's some seasons where you've got a good enough team where you can just implement new strategies pretty quickly, and you're more high level CEO project managing things. But I think most of us, right, aren't there that are listening to this call. And I like to break things down in quarters or 12-week years is what I call them. If you've ever read the book 12-week year, it's great. So I'll map out like everything I'm doing from January 1st to March 31st. Goals, revenue, projects, marketing, what we're going to do. So anything that comes in that time period, I don't shift. I put it on a list to consider when I start working on the second 12 weeks. And sometimes I'll do multiple 12 weeks in a row, but that way when a new idea comes in, right, I don't drop my entire plan that I had because this one idea sounds really good. I will put that on the table to consider for Q2.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I might
awesome.
not implement that till Q3 or Q4.
That's great. Yeah, and it's different, right? When you have a team, you're able to assign the focus. So that's a little bit different, right? So you can actually be working on multiple things because you give ownership to somebody else, right? Like, hey, this is yours now. I need you to focus on it because I can't. Right. And that's where when you have the team, yeah, of course, it makes it easier to go multiple directions because you have a guy who can take the focus. You have someone that, yep, this is mine. Let me do it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
All
All
right.
right.
That's
Cool. Well, I
all
think it was
I
good.
got. What's that?
I think it was a good chat. I wish my laptop didn't die. I have this to look forward to now to figure out what the hell's happening.
All right. Now you got something to do today here. Get that laptop
I
fixed,
was
brother.
looking for something to do.
All right. We'll chat
All
with
right,
you next
brother.
week, man. Oh, the lighting trade school for those of you guys that are coming for the advanced training. It's I mean, it is like in 2 weeks, right? I
Yeah.
think it's
Couple.
13
Yeah.
days. So flying back out to California, looking forward to hanging out with you again. That's a lot of time to see you in 1 month. But do we still have one slot yet left, or did we completely sell out?
I think we completely sold out from what I know, but I mean, you can give us a call. We can chat. Oliver, shoot me a DM or shoot Shane a DM.
Okay. Well, if you've just been dying to make that decision, you just never reached out. I guess reach out. But I think we're full, but could maybe squeeze in one more person or something. We like to keep it small and intimate, like for a reason, right? We just don't open it up. We don't want 50 people there. We want 20 people there, so we can all three of us can really kind of spend some time and teach as much as we can to know.
Yeah. Awesome. Sounds good.
All
Well,
right.
see you in a few weeks then, brother.
Later, man.
Bye.
2 weeks.